Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. Oh, I turned one of my lights off. There we go. Fixed. Fixed. Absolutely fine. Welcome back to the Nexus Gaming Series. We are getting ready to head into our second series of the day. We just finished casting a replay cast using the matches of Phoenix Rising Ruby, where they were able to take out Bronze 6 in a 2-1 matchup. Very fun series, very good time. I hope the people who were there for that enjoyed that. Before we get too far into what we are about to get casting, big thank you for the raids from Jazzaline and Fujin. Welcome, viewers of Jazzaline and Fujin. I hope you had fantastic casts and great games to watch. We also had a follow from Constable. Excuse me. Thank you for dropping that follow. If you enjoyed tonight's cast, everybody, then maybe consider dropping those follows you see when I go live, and also consider dropping subscriptions or donations so that you can support this cast. And no one pays me for Heroes anymore, so I make all of my income due to also all the offline events absolutely getting devastated. So all of the money I make so far is from subscriptions and donations, and also new emotes, so you can get your hands on your owls if you are interested. So drop those subs in. Feels good. Alright, the team is just sorting matching icons before they can start. They're arguing over which icon they should use. But before we head too far in, let's find out what we're going to be doing today. We are heading into our second series of the day, and we are heading into Lowered Expectations. Their name is too long. They have said Lower Expectations is fine here, and they are up against Waiting on Cherry, who are right at the limit of being a little too long themselves. Tell you what, we can fix that. Let's just, sorry, Dax. We are just going to remove the spaces in this logo just so it fits in the overlay a little nicer. Feels good. Alrighty, I'm just going to let them know that caster is R. R indeed. So, Low Expectations did get the map pick as Waiting on Cherry won the coin toss and opted for first pick. As such, Low Expectations banned out Towers of Doom. Waiting on Cherry took out Cursed Tomb of the Spider Queen. Dragonshire was removed by Low Expectations. Barax's Holdout by Waiting on Cherry. And the first map pick by Low Expectations is going to be Volskaya Foundry. Owl emotes are pretty freaking good, Zaravin. You are correct. So, teams are... What's happening? Okay, so yeah, there's some portrait synergy discord happening throughout the teams right now, working out which team gets their stuff. But it looks like we're good. It looks like we are good and ready to head into game number 1 of this best of 3 series. Let's get this rolling. On the left-hand side, in the blue trunks, Low Expectations, but with first pick on the right, Waiting on Cherry. This is a best of 3 series in Division D West between these two teams. While I wait for the first pick, actually, let's have a quick look at the table. Never mind, that's the wrong division. We will do that later, once I have fixed it. I didn't fix that in time. Go me, on point, as usual. But we're going to be getting ready for the first bans. Once again, going over to Waiting on Cherry. We'll see where they choose to start here. Where do you wish to go, Waiting on Cherry, with your first ban? Running the timer down all the way this time. They're going to start off with the May ban. Very sensible, very standard here. All right, we fixed it. So while I wait for the next ban, here is the current table so you can see these teams' positions. We're going to be seeing right now Waiting on Cherry in 5th position with 5 points. A little bit behind Clouded Minds, who sit at the top of the board. My previous team and one of my favorite teams in general, looking pretty good here. Clouded Minds looking quite high up there at the top. We have Lowered Expectations currently sitting on 11 points. They need a single team. Lowered Expectations, they currently need quite a few more map wins to catch up to some of those top teams. Can they get their first full win tonight versus Team Waiting on Cherry? We've had quite a few draft heroes already roll our way through now. Chromie was taken out by Lowered Expectations. Waiting on Cherry removed the Variant. Double frontline removal here. Taking those out of action. Very interesting. Let's have a look. Final ban now from Lowered Expectations. They take out the Sonya, removing that from the board. In terms of banned heroes, their banned heroes mostly include that Chromie, so that's not too surprising. But they don't ban Sonya too often. Variant banned consistently against them, so this is a reaction from Waiting on Cherry to the usual style of the side. Banned from Waiting on Cherry to the side of lowered expectations here. Now then. Double picks available for the side of lowered expectations. They get that Gazlo quite early and Brightwing. Brightwing in their top picked heroes. 2 games so far on this Brightwing. Their top picked heroes though, Blaze, Johanna, Orphea and Stukov currently have been left unpicked. Stukov is of course still available despite being a usual bad out for the majority of these teams. Waiting on Cherry now. They already have taken that... Sorry, that's why they did pick Stukov. Stukov is stolen. Where do they go from here? 100% win rate on Stukov, by the way, for Waiting on Cherry, as they pick up the Raider, very safe, and Johanna taken away from the side of lowered expectations. Only 2 games on Johanna so far from Waiting on Cherry. 50% win rate. See what they can do with that. But they've already got themselves a very safe, very normal start to a series there. Nothing too special. Tassadar taken out of action. This would be good AoE to make up for Reyna's more single target focus there. Very reasonable setup for them. Very reasonable, very standard. Where do they go now? Ban for the side of Waiting on Cherry. Again, Blaze is still available. This is one of the higher picked heroes. Orphea also very commonly picked. Research has been done. Waiting on Cherry. Orphea and the top 4 heroes, picked by the side of lowered expectations. Blaze, Johanna, Orphea, and Stukov. Blaze and Johanna kind of go hand in hand. These will be picked together, and if they did pick Blaze, they would be running Gazlo as a mage-style Gazlo / maybe melee assassin, or they would be running Blaze as a main tank. So in this case, very sensible to deny that away. Now, for the side of lowered expectations, the ETC played it twice, yet to win with it, and a Tychus. Very safe, very standard pick coming in from the members of lowered expectations. Now, Waiting on Cherry, Stukov, Raider, Johanna, all very normal stuff so far. A lot of their priority picks have been removed. They now have the option to pick their offlaner. In fact, they have to pick one now. Sonya would be their highest priority here, but they could also maybe sneak in like a Malthael if they wanted to. They could go over Leoric. Leoric also one of their top picked heroes. Sonya and Leoric about even here, but with only 1 main tank, they realize that the percentage damage that Leoric can offer can bully ETC out, forcing all frontline duties onto that Gazlo. It also gives them another solid frontliner who isn't going to be as punished by that Tychus here. Percentage damage from Tychus. They can now trade their frontliners out between Johanna and Leo. And Zarya coming in by lowered expectations. First time they've shown this, very sneaky. That's hyper carry Tychus, Gazlo offlane most likely. Very cool to see. Does this imply an auto-attack Tychus? Because while shield build on Odin Tychus could be good, I don't know if they will have enough damage to finish people off that way. They would have to rely on the wombo combo of Gazlo and Tychus, which they do have a lot of damage from that. But maybe auto-attack Tychus gives them a better chance. But again, to blinds, the likelihood is we're going to be seeing a Odin-style Tychus just to make sure that they are protected and prepared to try and siege into an ETC wombo. But it's going to be difficult for them. They might actually struggle here when they run into the fact that Gazlo is going to have to land these abilities really effectively to make up damage. There is a Zarya build that can make up the damage. We'll see if they go into that, as the game has already loaded in. Let's get this going, ladies and gentlemen, as on the left-hand side, here in this D West game in the Nexus Gaming series, it shall be low expectations. They shall have Dexter playing on that Gazlo, and definitely not D3 Tour. We have Malfrax on the Zarya, Spudmax on the Brightwing Dingo on ETC, and Devo will be playing that Tychus. Whereas on the right-hand side, in the red trunks, Waiting on Cherry, all aboard the glorious Golden Cock, with Mr. Potato Head on the Li Ming, D Cherrywood playing that Johanna, Dax on Raider, Death Punisher going to be playing the Stukov, And chilling in the bot lane, Discord will be playing the Leoric. No one hyper-aggressive as of yet. Both teams just waiting for the minion wave before anyone goes hyper-aggro for now. Remember, everybody, if you like the cast as we get into this game, then consider dropping a sub or a donation. I can only keep casting with the support of the people in the chat, because no one is paying me, and all the offline events have decided to go all ass over Apex, we shall say. Now then. Dexter making the most of the range advantage over Discord and also checking for ganks. Very cool. Cherrywood trying to deny the rotations using that Iron Skin. Very smart. Dingo on the ATC and Cherrywood going to be the two best heroes in this game for denying rotations. In fact, two of the best heroes in the game when it comes to interrupting everyone else as they try to move around the map. Turret already started that fortification camp for waiting on Cherry. Going to be picking that up nice and quickly. Jixie, thank you for the 69 bits. Very appreciated. Devo starting on a siege camp as they don't start their turret yet. Very interesting for the members of waiting for lower expectations. Wave being cleared, but again, D Cherrywood slowing their rotations, keeping them busy. Turret shall be taken by the side of waiting on Cherry, though. Double item grab. Tychus only barely finishing this camp. And lower expectations suddenly find themselves behind already. But XP-wise, they're not too far behind. They can very easily keep up. Gazza, by the way, going with melee build. Not going to be going with that mage style to try and stay at range and wombo. Wants to get stuck in there and spam turrets. Johada cooldown reduction. G Cherry would try to help them with the rotations and late game wave clear. Big and AR trying to melt through that front line as quick as possible. Risky into Johada. You could get everything interrupted very quickly. Sanity check, Rob. Thank you very much for the follow. Discord. Gonna get a little zoned out. Spudbacks teleports down to the bot lane. Interesting enough, by the way, Spudbacks not with the phase shift healing. Goes with greater polymorph, extra range, and the cooldown regen if you could land your Q. And with a full polymorph build so far. Johana trying to zone, but Brightwing comes back in, making this a 4 versus 4. Camp is taken, and Dingo penetrating around from Dax prevents the charge. That's going to be the camp secured by the members of Low Expectations. Malfrax having trouble at this early stage. 0 stacks of maximum charge. Trying to get a little bit of high energy for a little bit of extra poke damage, but it's not working out. Going with Give Me 20 as well. Going with a very sustained build. Protecting the team style build here. Devo in full retreat. Good power slide from Dingo. Prevents the Condemn from landing. Dingo saves the life of Devo there. Camp objective so far channeled by the members of Low Expectations, but Dexter getting focused down. We have that rocket socket for Dexter, charging up those shields, giving them the protection. But the man advantage for the side of waiting on Cherry gives them control over the point. 30-1. Currently in favor of Low Expectations, but they're regrouping, making sure that they can soak up to level 7. Discord having a rough time. Discord backing away. Turret being started once again by waiting on Cherry. This would be their 3rd turret if they can get this. They should be able to get this. We see a slight invade from Low Expectations. Hey, damn it, Janet, how's it going? They will be able to reclaim control for now. 66-30. Dingo dropping low already. Takes a lot of damage. First turret is dropped. They still have 2 more. Good kill. Mr. Potato Head guarantees that as they take out Tychus as well. Resets coming in there. Very aggressive by waiting on Cherry, making the most of the single front line of the side of Low Expectations and capitalizing. We're seeing Hit Me for Zarya, really trying to get those stacks up. Maximum charge now up to 35 stacks. Really helping them out there, getting those stacks all the way up. Sticky Flare, it's a full CC Brightwing build. Very interesting. They're trying to capitalize on wombos of their own. I'm concerned if they have enough damage here. Tychus go with Relentless Soldier, wants to protect themselves. It's a very defensive style for the Tychus, despite being the only range damage outside of Zarya on the team. Def though, big and AR, see you later, Protector Health, absolutely murders it. But The Protector still going very deep. Standing in turret range. You can stand a little bit higher and void that turret there. Losing a lot of Protector health, but they do get the Fountain, which is a big priority on this map. Two styles of strategy you can go for, taking out top Fountain or pushing bot lane and setting yourself up for the third objective to try and end the game with it. Protector getting absolutely murderized up here. Level 10 on the board for them, though. They're pushing forward. D-Cherry trying to turn onto Malfrex, who is tanking through for now. Using that high energy for some damage. Protector has been ditched here as they drop the Hyperion. Good damage onto top lane, setting themselves up great for second objective. Level 10, still over half a level away for low expectations. And Zarya currently over half a lane away for low expectations as Waiting on Cherry continue to siege with Li Ming. In the meantime, Leo has been left with soaking duty. How much value are they going to get out of this? Lurking Arm with low below. Absolutely eats them there. Death Punisher living up to their name. Guarantees the kill there. They've also gone for that growing infestation, trying to combo that with low blow. It's 100% a pick style. D-Cherry surviving again thanks to Death Punisher. Another massive shove to save the fight. But here's level 10 for low expectations, and here is their strat. Full wombo. Graviton Surge and Gravo Bomb 3000. They've gone for the Blink Heal. No Emerald Wind to completely ruin their wombo. I am confused. They've gone for Tychus being out of Odin, so they don't have the AoE damage as much, but they also don't have auto-attack build to guarantee value, and they still go for the Dragon Laser Drill. It is zoning, but I am a little confused as to the logic behind lowered expectations here. Let's see if they can capitalize on this, though, see if they can get value out of that Dragon Laser Drill, and of course, Mosh Pit for ETC. There is a Wave of Force, Blessed Shield, the massive shove, penetrating round. There's a lot of interrupts, but it only takes one. D-Cherrywood gets the turret. Dax gets their healing. Very smart. Put the healing on the backline. Keep them safe that way. No sense dropping your healing pulse, your biotic emitter, if only your tank is going to benefit from it, unless if you have the option of getting multiple members benefiting from it. Dexter trying to deny these rotations, but going to get chased down. Blessed Shield, condemn the slowing weighted pustule. Lurking Arm with low blow does so much, but Brightwing gets in time, but the burst heal is not huge. Grabo Bomb with combo, very slow from Dexter, who goes back in, drops the turret, drops the kill. Dingo, double turret drop, double turret move in, trying to gab something. Finds absolutely nothing. D-Cherry, we're going to get CC'd out. There's the Biotic Emitter. Graviton Surge. They're going to try and get something, but there's no damage here. Tychus is in bot lane. All the items are dropped except for one turret from Waiting on Cherry. Lowered expectations, though, come out far worse. They hold on to some items. They don't lose anyone outside of Gazo, who's already respawned. But they do come out a little low there. Lingering Spines for the Stukov, getting that extra duration out of the growing infestation. 4 seconds channel on that Lurking Arm, plus an extra 1.5, making that a 5.5 second channel. Really good if you're trying to combo with that low blow. Leoric going melee. Spectral Leech here. This will be combined with a Mithril Mace as the game goes on. Waiting on Cherry, taking the most of their advantage here. They will claim control of top lane and channel that in, and also diving onto mid lane, and that Lurking Arm eating people. Tychus taken out the main damage. Zarya brings out endurance training, 20 armor. Trying to tank through some of these shots. But that's 20 armor into a Leoric, and soon to potentially be a Raider percentage damage. Could be rough here. But, of course, armor gives you extra value from shields. The armor stacks on top of the shields, meaning you will lose less shields, more value out of them. Dexter, very smart, takes the safe rotation back to his lane. Wave clear coming out of Waiting on Cherry as well, keeping their experience lead. Currently level 13, soon to be 14 to 15. All in favor of Waiting on Cherry. D-Cherrywood eats a big chunk of damage, but they can't chase any further. 58 stacks. Massive shove does not land. 58 stacks on Zarya on that maximum charge. 11. Oh, give me 20. That cooldown reduction could be big when it comes to keeping Tychus alive. They're going to try and get to Spudmax. Dodges the Blessed Shield. Gets to Dexter. These are Blink Heal range. Lurking Arm. Dexter running out of range there. Graviton Surge dodged by Discord with the Wraithwalk as they try to get onto Devo. big slows coming in from Johanna. Subdue is here, but not stacked, but the slow amount is still very high. A little bit of burst healing from Tychus. That's the stuff. That's their sustain here, but level 16 now on the board for Waiting on Cherry. Turrets being spammed down by Dexter, creeping forward, but Dax is eating them. Exterminator burning through those. D Cherrywood getting murdered by Malfrex. You're still got to be careful. That's Zarya, when she's at full energy, still absolutely chunks. Currently 5 versus 4. Leo still down in that bottom lane, choosing not to contest. Gasso, full turret built here. Superior schematics, spamming out those turrets. Let them do the damage. Encore for ETC. On the other side, Mirable. Universal Carrier to combo with that biotic armor. Diving into the backline. Blessed Shield was burned here. Dingo trying to move in, looking for a Blessed Shield. There's another Condemn from D Cherrywood. It's a big commitment by the members of Lowered Expectations here, trying to set something up. Can't find the angle though. Malfrex taking a little bit of damage, little low on energy too. Turrets from Dexter, but he needs the shots. Graviton Surge comes in, tries to hold ETC. Power Slide, there's the mosh, but it's interrupted by the massive shove. Death Punisher not pulled in. Gaslo's already taken out as about to get in to keep the team alive. Discord with the slow. Spud Max taken out. It's resets galore for the members of Waiting on Cherry. They chase down Devo, looking for the final kill. Devo gets out. Malfrex and Devo will survive, but that is going to be a 3-0. Immediately, the Protector is gathered. It's going to make its way down to mid lane to take out that fort, and then straight to bot lane, most likely. Devo, so low at the end of that. But bot lane sets themselves up for a keep in the late game. That's exactly what they're going to do. In the meantime, Discord having fun, interactive PvE gameplay. Level away for Lowered Expectations to hit that level 20. Discord use their only escape tool there just to avoid a single stun. But they're just chilling up here. They're not afraid of being ganked, because if they get ganked, then Waiting on Cherry just push bot. Lots of push. Setting a good example here, getting a good amount of pressure. Tychus trying to drain this Protector down. Trying to take it down, the grenade to also kill the minion wave. That's extra damage. They even use the Drakon laser. It is now the wave clear laser. It is now useless. The issue with Drakon laser, it's only as good as where it is. Protector has been once again abandoned by the members of Waiting on Cherry. They can't afford to pop out and get mosh pitted, so they just play safe and let it expire. Gain train for Zarya. This will give them great protection if they can finish Give Me 20. They have finished maximum charge. Gazlo, cooldown reduction on the bombs. Intimidating presence for Dingo. Mosh Pit to zone them out so they can try and gain control of this point. One more from Gazlo. Graviton Surge, but the damage output from Waiting on Cherry is too high. Looking on for the counter. The Hyperion eats them, and Devo will escape. But Waiting on Cherry with the counter. The damage output just too much. There's the massive shove. Devo is trapped. This is going to be a 5-man team wipe. Dingo goes down, and we will see Waiting on Cherry pushing into the bot lane to grab the first keep of the game, and we will watch the replay of that fight. They move in. ETC single man mosh pit. They interrupted with a wave of force. Grabo bomb into Graviton Surge, but lurking arm directly underneath the damage into the Calamity, and that is full resets for Li Ming across the board, picking up the advantage and potentially the winners. Here come Waiting on Cherry into the core to try and set themselves up in game number 1. Death Punisher loses that lurking arm, but the Lingering Spines keeps it there. Turrets, 2 of them onto the core, and Raider is pinging away. D Cherry zones away the entire team. Dax is burning the core as best he can, and that will be game number 1. Going over to the members of Waiting on Cherry. Lead taken by Waiting on Cherry in this best of 3 series. Able to convincingly push their way in and claim game number 1 of this best of 3 series. Can they bring it home? We will have to see. Very solid combo at the end here. And you see 0 kills to 14. And take a look at the damage output here. Gazlo, topping out Tychus here. Tychus did their best. I can't help but feel that Odin might have been a little bit better here, a little bit more sustained for them. Staying a little bit further away from that Johanna. Some extra AoE for the Wombo. In this case, they had the Wombo, but it didn't have the AoE damage to deal with it. They were very reliant on Zarya as second damage to actually finish people in these fights. They didn't go mage build Gazlo for burst. They didn't have anything of the burst on Tychus, and yet all of their engage was guaranteed and committed to a heavy burst style. Unlucky for lowered expectations here. They will drop 0-1 down in this series. It is a best of 3, so plenty of a chance for them to make their way back in game number 2. We'll see if they are able to do so. Other talents. Other damage numbers, in fact. Leeming, Mr. Potato Head, top in the hero damage there. 41k. Absolutely wrecking everyone. Full reset. 6 of the team's 14 kills. Almost half, with the rest going over to Reyna. And, of course, Stukov, who, with that lurking arm, kind of just ate people. It was pretty good. Very effective. Worked very well in their favor. Nicely done by the members of Waiting on Cherry. Womboing their way through that, just dropping the damage when it mattered. Here are the talents and important things to notice here. Again, they did go for that arc reactor, which is still fantastic for Gazlo, especially Wombo Gazlo. But they've really committed to the superior schematics, rocket socket, big game hunter style build. It means their burst wasn't there. They put a lot of effort onto that Brightwing. ETC even. He went with a little bit of burst, but he doesn't really have that much. They just didn't have what they needed to finish the members of Waiting on Cherry. As such, game lead to the members of Waiting on Cherry. And we have our next map. It has been selected. The first pick has been opted for by Low Expectations, meaning that the map pick goes over to Waiting on Cherry, and we will be heading to Cursed Hollow as the second map of this best of 3 series. Will we even up the score? Or will we see the lead extended for Waiting on Cherry? And by lead extended, I mean winning the series. That's how it be sometimes. Reminder, everybody, if you are enjoying, please consider dropping a subscription or a donation to support the stream. We are always aiming to try and get 100 subs by the end of each month. No guarantee that we... we have an Why an Hang on, just checking. Well, we'll do this in a sec. Alright, so we always aim to try and get 100 subs by the end of each month. We are currently at 95. A couple will expire at some point this month, so we want to try and get as far ahead as possible to deal with the sub expirations. But it is still very kind of you if you want to drop donations or subscriptions to help me keep casting, because I can only do this with the support of wonderful people in the chat. Thank you all for watching. Hope you're all enjoying. And if you don't have subs or donations to give, then consider at least dropping a follow so that you can see when I go live, bump up that viewer count so that we can enjoy some lovely, lovely games. All right, there's a quick bio break. And after that is concluded, we will be able to jump into game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Can Low Expectations make the comeback, or will Waiting on Cherry be able to close this out? We shall see. Let's get ready. Very solid games. Once again, by the way, if you sub, you get access to all of these, except this one. This one is a tier 3, so you won't get access to that one immediately, unless you're dropping tier 3 subs. Do you want hope? I want hope. Hope is nice these days. But all these emotes are available to the wonderful people who drop subscriptions to the Tetcher Twitch channel. Feels amazing, fam. Our players are here. I'm just going to let them know caster is R. And when both teams are back, we will be good to go. I hope you are all excited. If you are enjoying me, by the way, I am also on the Nexus Gaming Series Twitch channel tomorrow, where I'll be casting a Storm Division game. Should be very, very exciting. I'm hoping that you will have as good a time as I am. The game I will be casting is going to be... It is going to be Chili Mountain Academy versus Regen. I'll be casting that Storm Division game tomorrow, so make sure that you tune in for that as well. Maestro, hell yeah, dropping the Tetcher prayers. Tetcher for prayers. We got it. I have policies like be nice. This is my primary policy. Alrighty, we're getting ready. Once again, once the players have arrived and materialized and prepared and readied, we'll be heading into game number 2. Big hype. I hope you are all ready. Zamara, how's it going? Good play in your last series. Absolutely crazy. Sorry I pronounced your name wrong at least twice when I watched it back. Sorry. I'm really bad with name pronunciations. Even when I ask the team captains, how do I do that? Play's taking a bit, so I'm just going to have a quick drink and remind people of better times. Feels bad. There we go. All right. Okay. The player is still not here, so we still cannot go into the series as of yet. We should be good to go. Please team. All right, there is a ready from the site. Toasty Posty Can, that's a cute name. Welcome, and thank you for your follow. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Remember, if you follow, you will know exactly when Tetcher goes live on Twitch. If you hit that little bell, you'll get notifications on it, so that you can be informed every time I cast games, which is basically NGS, Heroes Lounge, and CCL. Basically all just casting. On the odd occasion, I do something comedy related, but mostly just casting. Alrighty, we have a return, meaning that it looks like both teams shall be ready to head into game number 2 of this best of 3 series very, very shortly. Yep, there it is. We are off into game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this rolling. With once again waiting on Cherry, choosing the map. So lowered expectations in this game number 2 shall get first pick and first ban. Cursed Hollow shall be the map of choice. Let's see how they choose to begin. Taking it nice and slow for the moment. Gonna see the Li Ming getting removed. Nice and simple. Good start. Remove those poke mages. Is there anything they were scared of from last game, though, perhaps? Waiting on Cherry. They get rid of the Mei. Once again, prioritizing. Varian was also banned a lot by low expectations. Sorry, against low expectations. We're waiting on Cherry. Just mimic what they did last time. It worked. Why fix it? If it ain't broke, as they say. Sonya taken away from waiting on Cherry. One of the best burst heroes when it comes to just diving the enemy backline and just absolutely destroying them with this new and with this. I say new, very little changed. Everyone just realized that Slam build was really freaking good suddenly. Waiting on Cherry. They banned the Orphea early this time, leaving Varian up. Will lowered expectations take the bait? And pick that Varian, which would be quite early for it. No, Chromie, who snuck through the bad phase here, goes over to low expectations. That's a big priority pick for waiting on Cherry as well. In this case, going over to low expectations. Stolen away from them here. Waiting on Cherry. They start off with Stukov, one of their top spots, and they do take the Varian, stealing that away from low expectations. Lots of stealing, lots of priority pick taking from both of these teams here. Just trying to get one over on the other. Varian has been played quite a bit by both these teams though, and it is a more high priority pick for the side of Waiting on Cherry. Three games played, 100% win rate. And if they're going to play that Sukhov with Lurking Arm, Taunt Varian is going to do so much work. ETC and Falstad for the sides of Lowered Expectations. Their first Falstad showing since the rework and since the new season has started. ETC, this will be their 4th game on ETC. Will it be their first win on ETC? We will have to see. Brightwing. Banned away, very sensible. Again, a little bit of an odd Brightwing build for the side of Lowered Expectations in the last game. Did not work out in their favor, but it still had potential. And now have a Chromie on the line. A little bit more immediate burst damage to make the most of that particular style of Brightwing build. So solid ban out by Waiting on Cherry to remove it. Kael'thas removed. Varian stuck off Kael'thas would give them just so much single target blow up potential. There's still the option of a Jaina to fill out that burst positioning if they chose to go that route. Is that the way they wish to go? They do go the Jaina. A little bit of extra burst. And Dahaka, giving them that global potential. Varian doesn't exactly offer much when it comes to the wave clear. So having Dahaka makes up for that. They now have the global potential to make up and match that Falstad a little bit. Meaning they won't fall too behind in the macro game. Waiting on Cherry, their composition so far until Dahaka was very committed to finding picks and blowing heroes up. Whereas Lowered Expectations could have very easily just macroed forever. And they still might. They still might. Triple assassin here. 2 of them being mages. With the holy cow combo on top of it. The damage potential from Lowered Expectations is redonk. Their health bars are also mostly non-existent. So that is very risky. How do Waiting on Cherry react? How do they react to the triple mage? A third frontliner might be sensible. They go Genji. Into Uther is a little bit risky, but Zebo's a little bit squishy. Falstad's a little bit squishy. Chromie's a little bit squishy. They're putting a lot of pressure onto Jaina, onto Dax here, to finish people off in the front line. That's all on Dax now because Genji is going to be pressuring the back line, causing damage and harassment back there. Will this work out? Waiting on Cherry, putting their hopes on the Genji. Lowered Expectations, choosing to lean towards the triple mage build, because Falstad's coming more mage these days with Lightning Rod build being the priority. It's interesting. It's a risky pick. The Nazebo in the long term is going to be insane. Stukov does do a lot of healing, but he's going to have to work very hard to keep up if Lowered Expectations can live till the late game. Let's see if they can do it. On the left-hand side, looking to even up the score. It shall be Lowered Expectations. Devo on Uther. Dingo back on ETC. Spudbacks on the Chromie. We have Dexter on the Falstad. And Malfrex going to be playing that Zebo, already splitting off and heading to a different lane. On the right, also splitting up right off the bat. Waiting on Cherry. Discord is playing that Dahaka. We have Death Punisher on Stukov, Dax on Jaina, Mr. Potato Head is playing the Genji, and D. Cherrywood will be on that Varian. Looking to close out this series. Can Waiting on Cherry win this game number 2? Let's have a look at the talents at level 1. We again go for that low blow. Swift as the wind for Genji, keep him mobile. Pre-taunt Varian, setting a trap. Cooldown reduction on the stun for Uther. Wants to just lock down Genji. No one rotating yet. And the Zebo. Malfrex outplaying the members of Waiting on Cherry there by not showing up mid, meaning he can't be caught in the rotation. Can't catch me on the rotation if I don't rotate. Sprays for days. Coming out from all the teams here. Oh no, he's in the mousetrap. He's trapped. Literally sprays for days. D-Cherrywood sidestepping the power side for now. We're gonna see that dishonorable discharge. Thing of the deep, a little bit of spell power for Nazeebo, the standard late game talent these days. And of course, range advantage over to Haka. Big advantage for Nazeebo here. Falstad flying up to the siege camp, meaning someone else will have to take over bot lane. It's going to be Devo. A little bit of a cheeky stun onto Mr. Potato Head. Devo will probably end up going for the Holy Shock here. This gives him the ability to out-duel Genji in pretty much every situation. For now, Mr. Potato Head absolutely dunking on Devo. Siege Camp grabbed by Dax and Stukov. Death Punisher there as D-Cherrywood, little bit dropped low, has to back away for now. Dexter finally finishes that Siege Camp. Malfrex topping up on mana, stacking pretty well. 17 on Thing of the Deep and Voodoo Ritual. Devo continuously landing stuns. You can see out-trading. The second they get a Holy Shock, if they go for it, it will easily out-trade Mr. Potato Head. Do they go for it? As level 4's hit basically at the same time. They just gonna swap out. Doesn't matter. Static Shield for Falstad. Devo. They might not be going for it here. Otherwise, they could have picked it and just tried to get a little bit of damage onto Mr. Potato Head there. But so far, they aren't showing. On the other side, Dahaka. For tissue regeneration and one who collects. Tank build. In fact, we do see Pursuit of Justice. Uther wanted to get very stuck in and involved. Chasing people down. Chase down that Genji. Get up in Jada's face. Continuously lock down Varian. This will give them a lot. This basically gives them a second tank that also can heal. Discord looking to just wait for that drag cooldown to come off cooldown. Pulls into Siege Camp. And down it goes. Bruiser for both teams. Much earlier for waiting on Cherry. A little bit ahead in the rotation. Clear out mid lane as well, meaning that Bruiser will go to the gate. And as such, the slow rotation from low expectation means they will be a little late for the objective, but they still make it in time. But Devo, locked down, gets the armor to stay alive, and is killed off by Genji. The power slide is denied by the zombie wall, preventing Dingo from locking anyone down. Zombie wall hit multiple members, getting some damage off as Spudbacks tries to move in, tries to channel, low on mana here, but this is so many interrupts. Death Punisher lurking up, the Shurikens, Dax Q, mana bar's looking a little low. It's going to be Mr. Potato Head for the next interrupt. Takes a lot of damage, has to dash away. Death Punisher is the next interrupt here. No, they use D-Cherrywood. Dahaka tunneling in. Finds Devo. Taunt onto Dexter, but Spudbacks eaten by Dax and Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head backing up, but still poking away with those shurikens. Numbers advantage now in favor of waiting on Cherry. They will get the channel. Dexter already abandoning that fight, realizing it was not going in their favor, immediately heading up to mid and top lane. Destroying their way through mid lane. Getting control. ETC. Echo Pedal. Now, this leads in one of two ways. ETC could be going for a mosh pit style, because this is the only technical talent that actually gives you more damage in the mosh pit. It gives you a better chance of killing people in mosh pit. The only talent that gives you that extra bonus. Or Echo Pedal could allow them to split push ETC and drop a stage dive with this and just try it out macro waiting on Cherry. Give them that second global. Siege Camp being taken by waiting on Cherry. Mirrored on the other side, Spudbacks will be the one to pick it up for lowered expectations. Good damage. Little bit slow for now. A little bit overzealous on that micro, but still doing a good job here. They should make it in time for the objective. Just under half mana. Easily enough for Chromie. Chromie's mana is basically a non-issue. Stun. Stun 2. Good shading. Almost zero overlap there. Zombie wall does not land, though. D-Cherrywood does survive. Spudbacks has found Genji. There's the slowing sands. And Devo, no heal onto Chromie. Chromie goes down. I mean, they're one down in this fight already. And as such, immediate abandoned ship from lowered expectations. Dexter is clearing out bot lane, gaining the advantage. Discord seeing if he needs to tunnel up, but the objective's already taken, and boss shall be started by waiting on Cherry. Root onto Genji. Did not sidestep that. Level 10 available for the members of Waiting on Cherry here. Got themselves that massive shove. Isolation, X-Strike, safe style for the Genji here. Summon Water Elemental for the Jaina. And Varian, just going to go standard shield wall. Death Punisher, little bit low. But will sustain up pretty quickly. One fountain should leave them fine. No one grabbed the globe, so he won't get a sustain from that. Dingo was looking to play aggressive, will not find the kill. Level 10, now available for lowered expectations, meaning they can contest this next tribute, which is good news, because this is Cursed Tribute, and there's a boss already pushing with no one defending it. Dexter will actually have to move. He's not in position. He cannot reach the objective with his fly. As it stands, ETC is down, though. The Divine Shield not reaching in time, not being used with ETC taken out. Numbers advantage goes in favor of Waiting on Cherry. Mr. Potato Head and Death Punisher still a little low. Potato Head into the backline. Time Trap buys Spud back some time, but there's the taunt. That's going to be an easy kill going over to Waiting on Cherry. Channel comes out. That's the curse for Waiting on Cherry, and they're looking for a delicious Paladin to try and add to their kill count. Stun comes out with the speed boost. D-Shield is dropped, but there should be enough poke. The X-Strike, that's a great face melt coming out from Dingo, and that saves the day. Devo survives, looks to come back in. Devo turning around, stun onto Varian. They chain them together a little bit. Root, and no interruption on ETC. The mosh is perfect. Varian goes down. What a counter by lowered expectations. No interrupt on the mosh. They didn't even de-shield because it was already used. They cleansed it with Hand of Protection. Nicely done by Devo. The mosh interrupts. Drag, isolation, lurking arm. That's it. ETC has a very easy game this time. And massive shove, sorry. Dingo clearing out the waves here. But they get a kill. This is the first kill in 2 games for lowered expectations. Can they turn it into something? All 3 forts taken by Waiting on Cherry. In exchange, no towers. The front wall and towers, front wall and towers. Lowered expectations, they really want Discord, but they can't catch up. A trap was being set by Waiting on Cherry, just in case. So this works out very well for lowered expectations. Shingun. A little bit of burst damage for Waiting on Cherry. Mr. Potato Head finds Devo. They don't taunt. Power Slide, but look at the stun on ETC. Completely dominated by that lurking arm. Had no chance of surviving that. The D-Shield was their only chance. They did not have Mosh Pit. Not a good situation to be in as the solo front line. And with that, the boss will be started. Waiting on Cherry, gaining the momentum. Level 13 to level 12. Talent advantage. Drag Tongue is dodged. They get some good damage. Devo, Divine Shield, Gust onto the point, but the Gust was too early. They get the boss though. Devo gets it. Dax caught in the zombie wall, goes down. They chase on to Mr. Potato Head, who's caught in the root. Lurking Arm will kill off Devo, making this a 2-for-1. There's the dive onto the Punisher, but lowered expectations. They have given us something to expect and believe in as they get another kill onto Mr. Potato Head. Lowered expectations with their boss are going absolutely ham right now, pushing as hard as they can. That was all without Mosh. The Divine Shield to run in. The Gust a little bit early, but slight miss micro from Waiting on Cherry to step someone onto that point. 4 goes down, their first fort. Dexter grabbing Siege. Devo going to start on the Bruiser or straight for the objective? They're going to start the Bruiser. This boss will be cleared up before it gets too much more damage. But the turnaround from lowered expectations. 5 kills, Roots landing onto Waiting on Cherry. But they're still going. They still get the reset. XP evens up, comeback XP value. Dingo. Spotted. He is all alone. Anti-heals there, you can see. There's the taunt. No one in position to follow up, but no one can interrupt this channel either. Doesn't matter, though. 1 of 3. Plenty of time now for lowered expectations. What can they make out of this? Thing in the Deep is complete. 104 stacks on Voodoo Ritual. Really stacking up there. Encore now for ETC. This will give Dingo more chances at that Mosh. It'll only take one big one. Invasion to the enemy Bruiser camp. They find Dax. Stun him! Stun him! They finally stun him. Dax backs up though, but they do not find the kill. Water Elemental is dropped. Dingo is getting taken a lot of damage. Mosh Pit, Divine Shield, and Gust. No, they burn everything. Isolation time perfectly with the end of the Mosh. Nazemo's in the lurking arm with the extra damage from the low blow. That's a great power side face melt to save Malfrex there. But miscommunication from lowered expectations. They slightly mistimed the combo and they find nothing. They did get the camp though. They do get the channel, their first tribute of the game. Not the worst situation, but they did just burn two very, very long cooldowns. Dingo now getting focused in. Malfrex has to cancel the port to come back in and help. Zombie Wall catches Dax in the backline, but that is ETC taken out so quickly. Counter kill onto Mr. Potato Head as Disengage comes out. 1 for 1. Good turnaround. Good turnaround by low expectations. Grabbing themselves a kill. Devo stunned, but it was a bait. Chromie doesn't land the Sandblast, but Tunneling Claws has to be used by Discord, though, to get out. Devo, a little bit far up. There's the taunt, Lurking Arm, and Isolation to finish the job. Lowered expectations. They're playing some really good plays, but they keep finding themselves in positions where they're getting caught here. Toads a huge list for extra damage. Ring of Poison for extra damage. Zebra really trying to pile it on. This will not be contested. Dexter busy on bot lane. Malfrax stack it up in the mid lane and also clearing it out. There's catapults all grouping. Toads of hugeness. Zombies with Ring of Poison. It's a lot of burst for them. And at level 20, if they get that Vile Infection stacked, which they're looking on track to do, they are in for a chance of getting back into this game, but they can't afford to keep getting picked like this. It's a full burst build from Waiting on Cherry, with the extra damage from Banner of Dalaran. They've gone for Numbing Blast, even more roots here. Another Universal Carrier, again, to combo with Magic Armor. Always give armor. Dingo, intimidating presence. A little bit of a slow. It gives a tiny movement speed slow here. Preventing the chase. Gets Dingo out of there. Dexter already down here in position. Really trying to make the most of that global. Needs to get out of danger, though, because there is a big engage trying to chase him down here. They won't find him, though. Dexter, very safe rotation. Very nice. But they still have to contest this. Lower expectations. This is a curse. Again, second curse. They will lose keeps. They have to take the fight. Death Bush set up by the members of Waiting on Cherry. Dingo getting closed in on. Dexter needs to be careful. They gotta step up. D Cherrywood in position. Level 17 to level 17. All heroics are up. There's the taunt. Uther will fall, but it's Ghost Uther. Mosh is interrupted. Massive shove. Miss Potato Head very low. Isolation does not land on Dexter, but he still takes the damage from the Blizzard. D Cherrywood is getting blasted by Chromie. Discord is taking over tanking duties to buy some time. Great power side from Dingo, who is still alive in these fights. Ghost Uther expires, losing the healing. Taunt onto Chromie. Great dash by Miss Potato Head. Gus too late to save that Chromie. And it's a full disengage from the side of lowered expectations. That is going to be Genji finishing off Dingo. Dingo taken out. That's the curse. 3 for 1 in that fight. Made that 3 for 0, actually. They never got a kill. Waiting on Cherry. Pushing their way in to try and close this out, or at least get a keep. They got 34 seconds left for ETC. Mosh on cooldown. Lurking Arm, Mr. Potato Head focused down, but tanks through into the Lurking Arm. Dexter has to be careful. No Gust. They are not fighting under keep here. The keep will do them nothing but block a skill shot or two. Toads for damage to zone. Water Elemental is burned. Taunt on Dexter easily takes them out. Rude on Devo, meaning he is being chased down as well. Mr. Potato Head gets his reset as they look for Malfrex as well. They can't find the final kill, but those are two big staggered deaths, meaning that this core is suddenly in danger. They make their way in. Mosh, 14 seconds out. One face melt with Encore will bring that back, which could bring them back into the game. Face melt to buy them some time. Into the curse. D Cherrywood, 75 reduced armor as the X-Strike comes out from Genji looking for the backline, but Lurking Arm Taunt takes out Chromie, meaning it's all up now to Dingo and Malfrex. The Ravenous Spirit, Mosh Pit interrupted. Miss Potato Head barely survives on 20 health, but the core survives on 97. And that's the important play here from Lowered Expectations. They are not dead. Health bar's too low. Dahaka is already gone, getting split push value. Waiting on Cherry, they still come out ahead there, stacking several kills. 7 to 15 in terms of kills. Lowered Expectations. Still very far behind, but they are not out. They're going to start the boss. It's a risky play, but honestly, smartest thing they could do right now. They've got to get a lead somewhere, and this gives them some counter push. It gives them some time. They're expecting their opponents are on boss, which they probably should be, honestly. But they're going to be very slow. There is a world where Lowered Expectations take this boss. They are on the way up. They are going to try and contest this. Can they make it there in time? Jaina doing the maximum amount of damage. 2 people in the route. That's going to slow down their race. As Stukov takes a lot of damage. They may have to leash this, but they're taking too long. We won't see Lowered Expectations take it, but the boss is leashed. All the value here lost by waiting on Cherry. Losing that boss. Lowered Expectations, they believe they're doing the boss. But waiting on Cherry, they believe that Lowered Expectations are coming to invade them, but they're not. They're clearing instead. Waiting on Cherry, port back to base to deal with that bottom lane boss. And Lowered Expectations, they use that time to wave clear. They protect what they have and try and keep themselves in this series. Tribute. Not a curse for anybody. Boss. Gonna be started. Waiting on Cherry. Will they notice? Dingo gets chunked by this boss. Gust is available. Mosh, 4 seconds out. Caught in the boss route. Needs to be careful. They're going to be rumbled, but Gust and Mosh and Encore are available. These are great boss securing tools. Gust with Wind Tunnel. Boss is secured. What can they turn this into? They look down, trying to get onto the Dahaka. Ice Block has to be used by the Nazebo. Takes a lot of damage from that low blow. Taunt onto the ETC. Divine Shield is dropped. Turn around. Mosh Pit finds nothing. They have to cancel it. Core's about to start taking damage from Siege Giants and Catapults. They need to head back to base. Boss was taken, though. Lowered Expectations. They burned everything, but they didn't lose anything. Bot is secured. Shield not even taken. And Spudmax gonna take that tribute. Their second tribute of the game. 1 away from a curse. Lowered Expectations. They are in this. They are still very behind, but they're not out. Nazebo, realizing he was not stacked on Vile Infection, instead went for Annihilating Spirit. Just a little bit of extra but immediate damage without having to commit to the macro. It's a little bit of damage lost. But it's follow-up on the Mosh. Potentially a little bit more value follow-up on the Mosh. Ravenous Spirit, 5% increased damage each time it damages an enemy hero. If they can get a multi-man Mosh, this could be game over. Death Mosh from ETC, double their chances. The Death Mosh is set up. The Death Bush is set up. Rotation. Wraparound from the members of Lowered Expectations. What is their plan? They've been shown by this vision cam. They're going to try and push bot lane. Rotation. Coming in from waiting on Cherry. Dahaka channeling the tribute here. As the keep shall be started. They're gaining armor. This is far too greedy. Dingo, power slides out. Gust and Wind Tunnel. Oh, and Divine Shield again. Overlapping these abilities. Spudmax backing away. Lowered Expectations. They're holding themselves in this, but they can't keep overlapping these abilities. Communication has to be utilized here. Water Elemental expires. Keep survives, though. Waiting on Cherry. They still hold the lead. They can make this a 2-0 if they can just find one of these fights that they got so many times throughout this game. They just need to get that groove back. Waiting on Cherry. Stepping up. This is on the side of the map of Lowered Expectations. Vision. Dingo. Power slide a little bit early there. Takes a lot of damage. Taunt, lurking arm, steps forward. Mosh Pit, trying to set it up. That's a good massive shove though, but that means Dingo is still alive to turn around and power slide someone else. Roll away. Varian killed the backline. Malfrex gets that. Isolation dodged by Dexter. Disco trying to take the dual barrel all over the wall. Nicely done. As Spudmax gets the channel. That's the curse for lowered expectations here. Keeping themselves in this. Dingo through the blizzard. They have a winter mute here. Fly. That's so greedy. Dexter eats damage and immediately rolls away. He was looking for a gust into his team. Too risky. Not enough value gained. Here's taking a look for Discord. That's a ring of poison. Goodbye to Haka. Big kill from lowered expectations. They're making their way in 60 seconds on Haka. 27 on Varian. Have lowered expectations done it? They're going to make their way through the keep as 5 versus 3 right now. Can they do it? Waiting on Cherry, have a lot of damage to set this up. Big damage from Chromie for the counter star. Massive shove into the core as Dexter is zoned away. There's the gust. Wind tunnel to keep them away from the team as they focus on the core. But they're losing a lot of health here. Dexter dropping low. There's a lurking arm. Splits the team. Genji into the backline. Buying time. Devo comes forward, but they're completely zoned down. Genji is causing the distraction. Living weapon. Reset. Deathmosh though. Deathmosh pushing forward. Looking for Dax. He backs away, but D Cherrywood keeps them alive. Dexter dropped low. He's trying to back up. There's the taunt. We will lose Devo. No, Devo gets out with the speed boost. They cancel the Ravenous Spirit, and the core is saved. Neither team going down without a fight. Waiting on Cherry stay alive. Darker went with Apex Predator here. Quick rotations around the map, wants to be everywhere. We already saw the living weapon from Genji, saving them in that game. Mr. Potato Head just carried that core defense. Siege camps going over to lowered expectations. Boss started by waiting on Cherry. Man advantage is about to expire. Gust is up. Discord gonna try and zone. They need vision. There's isolation onto Uther. That's going to prevent Divine Shield as part of this combo. There's the barrel roll. There's the gust. But it's a great tunneling claws by Discord. Boss captured by waiting on Cherry. Falstad taken out. Boss start on everyone. They are taken out. Spudmax in full retreat. He's all that's left. He does snipe Dax. Dingo comes in, buying him some time. But that is a boss heading straight for the core. Devo respawns. 3 versus 4. And the boss taunts onto Devo! Devo in the isolate. Devo in the lurking arm picks up the kill. He's taken out. Discord dropping low, but his own energy is keeping him alive. They're making their way forward, and this might be it. The boss is healthy. Spudmax sieges away as best he can, but the numbers are just too much. Moshpit on 3 members. They take out Varian, but the boss is still untouched. Chromie sieges in. Dingo caught in the root. Lurking arm. Remember, this is a death box. They've got to be careful how they position. Dingo interrupts. Massive shove. Forces Dingo out. He rolls on forward looking for the death box to buy his team some time. Gets 2. Spudmax is trying to clear up, but the boss is just too healthy. What a valiant defense from low expectations, but it will not be enough as waiting on Cherry take game number 2 and the series. What a good game. That was awesome. Lowered expectations, a completely different team to who they were in game number 1, but waiting on Cherry. Dominant in game number 1. Struggling a little bit in game number 2. But they came out victorious. They had control of that game from the start. Nearly died to Wombos a couple times, but they did survive. They did win fights. Very nicely done. Wow. Waiting on Cherry. What a win. Damage at the end there, Spudmax. Wow. 85,000 damage. He ate them. He ate them. And yet the kill count's still almost double from waiting on Cherry. 51,000 from Dax. 26,000 from Varian. 47,000. 34,000 from Stukov. Stukov had the second highest kills in the game, tied with Varian. Lurking arm, low blow, getting value for the members of Waiting on Cherry. I'm going to see if there is anyone available for an interview. I'm just going to pick a lobby and then message them. Excuse me. And we'll jump to the map screen so you can see exactly how this series went. Anyone for interview? See if they have anyone who wants to jump in. But what a good series. That was superb. Very entertaining indeed. Waiting on Cherry taking the 2-0 here. Ooh, I'm a little bit exhausted. My throat's struggling a bit there. Because that was just intense between those two teams. The 2-0 score does not do justice to that second game. Because that was a bit mental. Alright, we're not getting a reply yet. We'll give it a minute or two to see if anyone does want to jump in for the interview. And if they do, then we shall do this interview. If not, then we shall end the stream for tonight. Reminder everybody, if you've enjoyed tonight's stream, consider dropping a subscription or a donation to show your appreciation. I literally cannot do this without your help and support, so thank you everyone who's supported so far. Help us get to that 100 sub mark for March. Alright, we got Dax on the way. Excellent. So we are getting, and there is the Dax, so we do get the interview. Welcome and congratulations on your domination here.
Thank you so much. Doesn't feel like that. Game 2 was a little bit scary, but unfortunately, we just had Discord make a fantastic play there and to help us get that win.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The domination really does not do justice to that second game. That was absolutely mental between the two of you. And we'll get to that in a second. For starters, before we go too far into this, in terms of table scores, because you got this domination, you will be getting a solid 3 points, which will change your positioning up into 3rd position, overtaking Maximum Thrust and Vibe Check. How's that feel?
Feels good. Vibe Check is a good team. We played them, I think, first. We did drop a map to them, so as long as we don't tie them, I think we should be okay. But yeah, like 3rd place, but there's some really good teams in Div D this season. I know we haven't played Maximum yet. I know we haven't played Clouded Minds yet. We already played Team Rainbow Strike Go, and then they actually dominated us. So there will be some flip-flops, I think, for sure, as we move forward here.
Sounds exciting. But before we go too far into theory crafting for future matchups, let's talk about the matchups that we just had. Game number 1, 0 deaths. In terms of the draft, you guys went for what was a bit more of a normal style of draft, 2 assassins, 2 frontliners, and a healer, with your healer deciding that he was actually 3rd mage. Low blow Stukov. Tell me about that.
We were actually really surprised that the Stukov was left up for us, but yeah, Punisher is... I can't say too much about his hero pool. Like anything he really plays just feels really good. But I think just Stukov is in a good position. They did tweak low blow a little bit. I think they lowered the percent where it does kick off?
Yeah.
So just even if we aren't there or the follow up's not there, just be able to secure those kills is really really fantastic.
Makes sense to me. And you guys running for playing very aggressively forward into a lot of those fights and taking a lot of fights into choke points versus the Wombo. Was that just pure confidence of being able to live through the fights because you did, or was there potentially a mistake made?
No, and I definitely think on that bottom point where we actually ended up somehow winning that I believe Potato had a crazy good mosh cancel on the Li Ming there. But like that was what their combo wanted to do, and we walked kind of right into it when we tried to invade on the bottom there. Just unfortunately we had a good cancel, and I don't know how we lived there. Like I think we all just like started cussing at that point. Like everything just got dumped in that little corridor, and then somehow like some way we made it out. But it was a good play on their part. We walked right into it, and unfortunately just kind of fell our way.
Makes sense to me. So in terms of the draft of that game, they went with a solo damage Tychus, a Zarya Gazlo combo. How prepared were you for the Zarya, and did you adjust your playstyle in any way? Because that's obviously an unusual pick.
So yeah, we weren't necessarily. So it's really hard scouting teams in NGS because sometimes they don't show stuff, or off roster subs or subs play specific games. But like from what I saw, like I didn't even see a Gazlo. So just the first pick Gazlo, kind of just was kind of like, okay, that's different. And then the thing is like, do they even play Tychus? And like I didn't see any Tychus, and then like no sooner did that come out of my mouth did they pick the Tychus, and then I was like, yeah, they play Tychus. And And then so the Zarya for sure. I mean, Tychus is good, but I'm just not sure if he's like hyper carry good. No, that could be my own ignorance.
No, I feel you. Tychus with the particular build they went as well as the solo damage dealer is solid. I think they were trying to let Gazlo and Zarya make up for that, which they definitely are capable of doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Gazlo does an immense amount of damage himself, especially with the, because he can pop Odin and then just dump everything in the Gravo Bomb, Zarya ult as well, because I think that's kind of the Gravitron? Whatever that's,
Graviton Surge and Gravo Bomb.
Gravo Bomb, okay, yep. So, but yeah, it was all there. They had the pieces there, just kind of, I think we lucked out for sure.
Makes sense. All right, let's talk about game number 2 here. Very different game. Their draft leading into a triple assassin style. That is definitely unusual, and you guys decided to react to that with the Genji. What is the logic there?
So we were kind of holding that. So we actually wanted to go the Falstad. So they actually did take that away from us. So it was just good drafting on their part. And then Potato was hovering the Jaina then at that point since they took that. But outside of just that last Uther pick, he's just like, this could be Genji. And we have the Jaina. So wave clear and camp clear is already taken care of. So if he can just jump in the back line and because they're gonna have to worry about taunt variant up front with either the D shield or the cleanse. So we were just trying to engage and let just Genji do his thing in the back line.
Makes sense, which he was able to do. But before we get to a very particular moment, I want to talk about that, where you guys tried to make your way into their core at the early stages of the game, and you got the shield off, but you did get caught out and zoned away a little bit, and nearly lost multiple members. Who made the call for the core, for starters?
So we made the call for core. On that particular one, we were looking at it and it felt right, but then just kind of, I don't know what ended up happening, whether we were not focusing on the core itself, but I think that was just the general call, and then we just they started spawning back, and then I think we just tried to back up there ourselves, and kind of some of us did get caught.
All right, well, you completely destroyed my second question. So
Sorry?
that. You completely destroyed my second question by answering it already. So we will move on to the next one. So you guys did put a lot of pressure onto Discord on that Dahaka to just get as much soak as possible, with the level 20 going for the Apex Predator just for maximum global potential and mobility. Was he just left to his own devices just to get the soak for you, or was there communication about how long he was going to spend in lanes?
I'm not sure about his level 20. I don't think we discussed that at all. You know what I mean? Like, I think if he was comfortable with that, I mean, come level 20, I think, the soak game, as long as we can keep lanes, just push back onto their side, because I think we ended up playing pretty passive there in the latter part of the game. That he was just able to be where he needed to be, and then even to keep pressure in the bot, since we had that keep taken care of, and then dig for an objective. So I like the play. It was just the macro play, especially to try and match their false stat.
Makes sense to me. So on the other side, they nearly made it to your core, and they did take a big percentage off your core before a couple people respawned in. And Mr. Potato Head absolutely popped off. You already mentioned he was like distracting the backline, but what was the actual call made there? Like, obviously it was some people still need to respawn. What is the call that's being made in that situation?
So honestly, like, even me being like, I'll even target myself here. Like, I called GG. We had both, Varian was dead. Dahaka had just gotten picked. I mean, so we were still looking at Varian being down for 30 seconds. And then I was like, they have the core. I'm sorry, not the core, but the keep is down. They're pushing. All 5 of them are there. I said, we can try and defend, but I'm pretty sure this is GG. And, we kind of just started poking around a little bit, and, he hit that triple X strike, and it was nuts. Like, he just started, just cheering. He's like, it's not over yet, just that kind of those hype moments where it just kind of happens. And it like even like play of the game between that's tough. It's either that point because that was kind of a turning point there, and then like I said, we can discuss I won't take that question, I'm sure, from you here, but a turning point for sure.
The final boss play where you guys decided to make your way onto the boss. You'd already lost a boss in that one point with a Divine Shield walk-on by Uther with a Gust, which you guys slightly missed micro to not step onto the boss point in time. And you were trying to do the same thing again. What precautions of what lessons do you take from the first time into the second time?
So I think from that first boss, we were playing a little bit scared with the Gust, Dexter's Gust. We're just fantastic on that fall stat. But great in the Zebo wall as well, because I think I tried to step up as Jaina got caught in the Zebo wall, which kept me from having any sort of foot or anything or padding onto that particular point. But they didn't have their tank, so that's what we were at least calling for. And then we were calling for that particular, we were going to try and rip it as quickly as possible. And then it was just Discord with the Galaxy Brain play just to dig in there and just try and pop up whenever that gust ended. And it was all on him. There was no calls. It was just try and rip this, everyone stand on the point, and then he was just able to do it. Just all props on Discord for that for sure.
100% agree. Those tunneling claws were absolutely perfect to keep you in that game. So before I send you over to shout outs, we've already mentioned in terms of the table that there are currently 2 teams ahead of you, but just in general, because we're only a couple weeks into NGS season so far, is there anyone you are super excited to play against that you haven't played against yet, or anyone you really want to rematch against?
So I'll answer both of those. So I'm really excited to play Clouded Minds. Just a real seasoned team. I know that team pretty well, playing some fun games with them. Saw some of them in the chat here, but just all around good amount of people. That should be a good set. Rematch wise, I'd love the rematch on Team Rainbow Shirt Go Knights. They did dominate us 2-0 last week. I think we had some props to them. They were the better team, but I don't think we played our best game against them, and I'd just like the rematch to see where we stand.
All right, so keeping your eyes at the top of the table. But for now, I think it is time to throw it over to you for any shout-outs, any call-outs, anyone you want to tell them they suck, anyone you want to tell them they're great. The floor is yours.
All right. Well, first and foremost, Tetcher, thank you so much for casting us this evening. Looking forward to watching this. Was a little bit nervous. I know we talked about royalty in the early part of the coin flips and stuff. But just looking forward to the quality cast here. After that, just shout outs to lowered expectations. Keep your heads up. You guys are a really great team, made some really great plays. Just unfortunately the dominoes fell kind of our way in a couple of those team fights. And I honestly, like I said, as the captain, I honestly thought we were heading to game 3. To your point there, when you guys were marching on that core. And then other than that, the team, shout out to them, keeping their heads up, just putting me in my place when I'm trying to call GGs and think about next draft, but just Potato, Cherry, Discord, and Potato, MVPs for sure there. And then I guess lastly, just to Rogue Energy, they partnered with us. Nice. Hots Cherry is the coupon code if you like energy like me. It's a quarter of midnight here, and I'm still sipping on some of this going on there. So, but yeah, again, that's all I got.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, I will let you go celebrate with your team, and good luck in your next series, Dax.
All right, thank you, sir.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be the end of our 2 series for today. I have been your caster, Tetcher. I really hope you enjoyed the games today. I know I certainly did. I am very tuckered out, as it were. If you did enjoy, please consider dropping a subscription or a donation to this stream. I can only keep casting with the support of people like you who are able to support this channel, because guess what? All the companies that are doing offline events have disappeared. My job got taken away by Blizzard Activision. There's not a huge amount I'm doing in terms of making money these days, so having any support from people who are enjoying these casts and want to show a little bit of love is incredibly appreciated. We're only 5 subs away from our 100 sub goal, and then we just have to try and keep that throughout the month as we lose some of the gifted subs from February. For now, though, thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to find someone to raid you all over to. Hope you had a wonderful evening. I have been Tetcher, you have been lovely, and I will see you all next time. Have a good night. How's it going, eh? Canadian Tetcher here, and this is definitely what all Canadians sound like. Don't go about asking questions, eh? I'm here to ask that if you're enjoying this content, then maybe consider dropping a loony or a toonie on the content by buying some bits or donating using the donation link below the stream. Now, like all Canadians, I only eat Tim Hortons and poutine, but Tetcher has to eat other stuff. So just a couple loonies or toonies in the form of bits from just a couple people in the chat can really go a long way towards helping him afford his groceries. This accent's drifting on the line of offensive now,